Donald Trump is absolutely losing it as more information comes out from the data set 8 of the Epstein files, where Donald Trump's name is indeed mentioned repeatedly in the Epstein files. There are still hundreds of thousands of files that are missing, but from this data set 8, there are some documents that raise serious questions. I want to go through what it is that we are learning about in addition to what I had previously reported earlier this morning, because we're getting a lot more right now. The Department of Justice just posted the following message. This is from the official DOJ account, and you see that they're serving as a law firm here, basically directly for Donald Trump, as Trump's own criminal defense or civil defense firm, essentially. Here is what they write. The Department of Justice has officially released nearly 30,000 more pages of documents related to Jeffrey Epstein. Some of these documents contain untrue and sensationalist claims made against President Trump that were submitted to the FBI right before the 2020 election. To be clear, the claims are unfounded and false, and if they had a shred of credibility, they certainly would have been weaponized against President Trump already. Nevertheless, out of our commitment to the law and transparency, the DOJ is releasing these documents with the legally required protections for Epstein victims. Now, part of this data set 8 included what appeared to be, we don't know for a fact because it was submitted for handwriting analysis, what appeared to be a letter right before or right around Jeffrey Epstein's alleged death by suicide, a letter sent to convicted sex abuser Larry Nassar. He was the Michigan State University physician and U.S. gymnastics team doctor who sexually assaulted all of those young girls. And we talked about this one. There's a lot of other documents I'm going to go through in this video, but let me just share this with you. Before I do that, I want to remind you, make sure you subscribe to the MeidasTouch YouTube channel. We're on our way to 6 million subscribers. I want to try to hit that before the new year, and also check out MeidasPlus.com. That's our Substack. So in dataset 8 of the Epstein files release, which was briefly posted on the website, taken down, and then posted again, there is a letter alleging to be sent from Jeffrey Epstein to convicted sex offender Larry Nassar. The letter, which is postmarked just days after Epstein dies, reads, "Dear LN, as you know by now, I've taken the short route home. Good luck. We shared one thing, our love and caring of young ladies. At the hope they'd reach their full potential, our president shares our love of young, nubile girls. When a young beauty walked by, he loved to grab snatch, whereas we ended up snatching grub in the mess halls of the system. Life is unfair. Yours, J. Epstein." The letter was returned to sender. Reporting indicates that Epstein sent a letter to Nassar from prison before his suicide. The contents of that letter were never revealed. Additional documents show that the letter was submitted for handwriting analysis by the FBI, though it is unclear if investigators reached a conclusion on whether or not this was definitively written by Epstein. Okay. Now, in 2019, Trump's DOJ had a list of 10 Epstein co-conspirators that we've now been able to see this document. Do you remember when Kash Patel, the FBI director, testified that there were no other co-conspirators involved? And do you remember the DOJ memo, which stated we did not uncover evidence that could predicate an investigation against uncharged third parties? Remember that came out from the DOJ? Well, some of the new documents that have been released talk about these 10 co-conspirators, but these 10 co-conspirators have their names redacted. Let's just go through this latest document. You'll see here, this is being sent from the prosecutor's offices to each other, from investigators who were investigating co-conspirators. It says, "Good morning," redacted. ASC is requesting an update of the 10 co-conspirators by close of business today. Can you tell us how many have been successfully located, interviewed, served with GJS, that's grand jury subpoenas? I believe the breakdown was 5 in New York, 1 in North Carolina, 1 in Boston, and 3 in Florida. Then on July 9th, 2019, another prosecutor or investigator says, of the 10 co-conspirators, 3 have been located in Florida and served grand jury subpoenas. 1 in Boston, 1 in New York City, and 1 in Connecticut were located and served. 4 of the 10 are outstanding, with the 10th having been made. 1 is a wealthy businessman in Ohio. A lead is being sent to CV. The remaining 3 are currently out of pocket. The team, 8 SAs, TFOs, 2 AUSAs. This is a whole team of prosecutors and investigators right here, to be very clear, are flying out tonight, tomorrow to various locations in Florida to interview approximately 25 victims. The 1-800-CALL FBI line is up and running. We have received approximately 45 calls, which we are in the process of vetting out. Let me know if you need anything else. Sean. So probably prosecutors talking to other prosecutors right around July 2019. Then someone says, also, Epstein's bail argument is due to the judge on Thursday. The actual bail hearing will be on Monday. So also, where are all of these other victims interviews? Where are all these other FBI interviews? Because we know, for example, here, it's referencing 25 victims were interviewed.
When was the last time you truly trusted the seafood you brought home? I used to question everything from nutrition and taste to sustainability until I discovered Wild Alaskan Company. Wild Alaskan Company is the best way to get wild-caught, perfectly portioned, nutrient-dense seafood delivered directly to your door. Trust me, you haven't tasted fish this good. I was so excited the first time I received my shipment from the Wild Alaskan Company. I received my Pacific halibut and pan-seared it that evening. It was delicious. The Wild Alaskan Company is 100% wild-caught, never farmed. This means there are no antibiotics, GMOs, or additives. Just clean, real fish that support healthy oceans and fishing communities. It's nutrient-rich and full of flavor. Wild Alaskan's fish is frozen off the boat to lock in taste, texture, and nutrients like omega-3s. My favorite, it's also sustainably sourced. Wild caught from Alaska, every order supports sustainable harvesting practices. And your membership delivers flexible shipments, expert tips, and a truly feel-good seafood experience. If you're not completely satisfied with your first box, Wild Alaskan Company will give you a full refund, no questions asked. No risk, just high-quality seafood. Not all fish are the same. Get seafood you can trust. Go to wildalaskan.com/Meidas for $35 off your first box of premium wild-caught seafood. That's wildalaskan.com/Meidas for $35 off your first order. Thanks to Wild Alaskan Company for sponsoring this episode.
One of the things we learned as well, which I find notable, is that a grand jury subpoena was actually sent to Mar-a-Lago. You'll see right here from this new batch of Epstein files, it shows a subpoena to Mar-a-Lago in the investigation of Ghislaine. You'll see right here, take a look, dated October 5th, 2021, to the Mar-a-Lago Club. We command that all and singular business and excuses being laid aside, you appear and attend before the United States District Court of the Southern District of New York in the borough of Manhattan in the Southern District at a specific time, November 29th, 2021. The Mar-a-Lago representative was ordered and compelled to appear before the Southern District of New York. Now, going back to these 10 co-conspirators, here's another email relating to that as well. This one's dated July 7th, 2019, and it says, Redacted does not need to head out. We made contact with Redacted last night in New York. Contact was made with Redacted. Attempts were made to Redacted and Brunel. Redacted is confirmed to live in New York, but was away for the holiday weekend. We did not have a good address for Redacted, but attempts was made at a residence in New York. Attempts to Maxwell are being made in Boston today. Then it said Redacted will be approached in Florida and Redacted in New York, but haven't as of yet. I don't know about Ohio contacting Wexner. So that appears to refer to Lex Wexner, apparently one of the 10 co-conspirators right there. They forgot to redact that, I guess. All these other redactions here appear not to be of the victims, but of the potential co-conspirators, it seems. And then it goes on to say, when you get a chance, can you give me an update on the status of the 10 co-conspirators? Do we need Redacted to head out on, then this is Redacted. I'm not sure why these other things are being redacted right here. But you'll recall earlier this year, Kash Patel testified testified under oath that internal files contain no credible information about these co-conspirators. Let me just play for you what Kash Patel said so you can hear it in your own words. Here, play this. You could hear it in his own words. Here, play this clip.
Who, if anyone, did Epstein traffic these young women to besides himself?
Himself. There is no credible information. None. If there were, I would bring the case yesterday that he trafficked to other individuals. And the information we have, again, is limited.
So the answer is no one?
For the information that we have.
In the files?
In the case file.
Now, another newly released record shows that investigators examining Steve Bannon's role in the We Build the Wall scheme, for which he was pardoned for by the Trump regime, and then later in the state case pled guilty, discovered a photo of Donald Trump and Ghislaine Maxwell on Bannon's phone in June 2021. You take a look right here, the subject, Ghislaine Maxwell photo on Bannon's phone. And here it is, June 11, 2021. Hi, redacted. I hope you're well. I'm helping out with the responsiveness review for WBTW, We Build the Wall. And I've been looking through Steve Bannon's iPhone 7 on Cellbrite. That's the software they use to review. As I was going through the images from that phone, I found an image of Trump and Ghislaine Maxwell on Bannon's phone. See screenshot from Cellbrite attached. Where's that photo? I discussed with Sonny, and we wanted to flag this for you in case it was of any importance. Since you are both on the case, please let me know if you'd like anything further done with this. Thank you so much. Then it goes on to say, thank you so much for flagging. No need to do anything with this one, but thanks for letting me know. And do let me know if anything else pops up right there. So that's that email. Then there was this email, which I previously talked about, but I want to share with you right now. It says, this is from January 8th, 2020. It's from a federal prosecutor in New York to another federal prosecutor in the Southern District of New York. And it says, for your situational awareness, wanted to let you know that the flight records we received yesterday reflect that Donald Trump traveled on Epstein's private jet many more times than previously had been reported or that we were aware of, including during the period we would expect to charge in a Maxwell case. In particular, he is listed as a passenger on at least 8 flights between 1993 and 1996, including at least 4 flights which Maxwell was also present. He is listed as having traveled with, among others, and at various times, Marla Maples, his daughter Tiffany, and his son Eric. On one flight in 1993, he and Epstein are the only 2 listed passengers. On another, the only 3 passengers are Epstein, Trump, and then 20-year-old, and this is redacted. On 2 other flights, 2 of the passengers, respectively, were women who would be possible witnesses in a Maxwell case. We've just finished reviewing the full records, more than 100 pages of very small script, and don't want any of this to be a surprise down the road. And that is another redacted message. Now, this was also in the FBI file that was produced. And again, I want to be very clear that these are simply statements that were taken. They are not to be construed at all for the truth of the matter asserted. This is simply, I'm reporting on it to simply say this was in the file, and that's the only way this should be received, that this was in the file. I'm reporting on a newsworthy event, as is my First Amendment right, and I am not in any way making any characterizations about the allegations here. I want to be very clear, as we always are here, about that. So this is from like a limo driver, and this is dated 10/27/2020, and it says on 10/27/2020 Eastern Time, so-and-so called the FBI National Threat Operations Center unit to report potential information relating to Jeffrey Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell. And it says blank asked about his time driving a limousine for 2 years in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. During blank's time as a driver, he had met Donald Trump. Blank noted he picked the president up in 1995 and took him to the DFW airport. Blank reported some of the things that President Trump had spoken about during the ride while on his cell phone were very concerning. Blake reported he was a few seconds from pulling the limousine over on the median and within a few seconds of pulling him out of the car and hurting him due to some of the things he was saying. As caller chose not to noted that Trump continuously stated the name Jeffrey while on the phone and made references to abusing some girl, was unsure who he was talking to, nor was he referencing. As Blank talked about his time meeting Donald Trump, Blank's immediately demeanor went stone cold. As Blank stated, someone raped me, said Blank, what as replied, Donald J. Trump had, then it goes on to say things. This is just, I want to be clear, this is just in the file. And so you can see that that's in the file right there. There was another message that I wanted to share with you as well. This is from someone who talked about potentially going to a party. And the person mentions that this party was at a location where there were potentially prostitutes at, and they were prostitutes potentially at the party. Let's pull it up right here. It says a victim, it's unclear, it's redacted, claimed that a woman named Ghislaine Lisa Villanueva told her that the party that Trump invited them to at Mar-a-Lago was for prostitutes. And again, I'm just simply showing you, not at all, want to be clear, not showing you this for the truth of the matter asserted. I'm just showing you that this is in the file. On October 9th, 2020, it says, I met Lisa Villanueva at the hospital where they were roommates in 2000. Villanueva now goes by Ghislaine Lisa Villanueva and sells real estate in Irvine, California. Villanueva took Blank back inside. Someone told the party that Donald Trump had invited them all to at Mar-a-Lago. Blank told Villanueva she wanted to go, but Villanueva told Blank that it wasn't the kind of party. It wasn't that kind of party. It was for prostitutes. Blank hasn't spoken to Villanueva since 2002. So that's where we're at right now with the additional information that's in there. Again, you can be a discerning audience and you can look at those and you could assess it for yourself. I read for you what the FBI says under Pam Bondi and Kash Patel. They say these things are false. They want to make it very clear that these are false and salacious. You come up with your own conclusions, whichever your conclusions are. Hit subscribe. Let's get to 6 million, and thank you for watching.
Love this video? Support independent media and unlock exclusive content, ad-free videos, and custom emojis by becoming a paid member of our YouTube channel today. You can also gift memberships to others. Let's keep growing together.